My name's Michael Render. They call me Killer Mike. And this is Conversate. I just want to conversate. I just want to conversate with you. I want to convert. Conversate. Welcome back to Conversate. We know.
In debate.
Yeah, where we conversate and debate. We know conversation's not a word, but our goal is to get it in the English dictionary before we die.
It's our word.
Yeah, it's our word. You're supposed to be conversing. It's not Ebonics. It's just ours.
Yeah.
All right? So we conversating with someone who I have a huge amount of admiration and respect for.
It's mutual.
Former mayor of Atlanta, Kasim Reed.
Yes.
Before he was mayor, state senator, amazing, and out of 35th district, right?
35th.
Yeah, 30, out of, represented well. And before that was just one of the cool ass swaggering bad black attorneys that your grandparents would hit say, hey, you know that boy here, he a lawyer now. Yeah, that boy a lawyer. That boy, you need to be somebody. That's when you the friend your grandmama call you about. You know he graduated Howard, he gone to law school, and you need to be somebody. You represent our
before
somebody.
I graduated.
You
graduated from law. Yeah, they used to let you take the bar before you graduated.
Yeah.
I don't know whether they did that anymore, but yeah.
So you before you graduated, you had already earned your.
Yeah, back in the day, I'm dating myself, but you could come and take the February bar.
Wow.
If you were graduating in May.
Did you bet? My daughter just called me and said, Dad, she was graduating high school, and she said, I'm a pharmacy tech. I said, what do you mean? She said, one of my teachers just believed in me and told me you should practice and study now. You shouldn't wait till you graduate. And I up at Riverwood. So Mikey, I guess you're smart as the mayor and much smarter than your father, because your father hadn't graduated Wood Tech by the time he graduated.
I know, but he could rap though.
Yeah, I could rap.
What kind of law?
I do complex litigation. Yeah, right now.
What is that?
It means when large organizations have big problems, I'm the person that they call. No.
That's a real sniper.
Yeah.
Okay.
You also represented a group that we love and some guys early on. You represented Goodie Mob, right?
Yeah, so I was Bernard Parks, who was Goodie Mob's manager's lawyer through 5 albums.
Wow.
So that's, it's amazing how many touches we had. So I was first aware of you. You were younger than me, but you were around Goodie Mob when Bernard started managing Goodie Mob when they took off with Who's That Peeking in the Window. So everybody respected you then when you were young. And then I had another touch with when I was mayor in 2016, we were building the biggest water reserve in the history of the city. So we had to drill 5.5 miles. So we had a 30-day water reserve for 2.4 billion gallons of water. And so we had this drill that cost $11 million. And so we wanted to make it fun so that the community would know what we were doing in their community. Just wasn't a lot of craziness. And when we reached out to the community, everybody said they wanted to name it for Killer Mike. So we changed one letter and we named it Driller Mike. And then you and Shay came to the naming ceremony.
And my mom.
Which guarantees the water supply for Atlanta for 100 years.
I didn't know that. Driller Mike?
The community came 700 submissions.
Wow.
So then I was like, man, I know that guy. I know him from B.
Yeah.
And then the community came in a different way.
That's beautiful.
Then, so I feel like I was laughing downstairs because I was way before the 4 Grammys.
There's another connection there that's amazing is working alongside Reverend James Orange and
no question.
who was if you guys have watched the movie Selma, if you haven't watched Selma, because a lot of times what we don't understand is that it takes a real team and proper organization to progress a mission. And Dr. Martin Luther King deserves every piece of sunshine and light he gets, as does Coretta Scott King, as do Andy and Jean Charles Young, as do Cleo and James Orange. And James Orange was an organizer on the ground here, and he got the door knockers out. He got the people to the polls to vote, and
Very
he
necessary.
partnered. Yeah, I miss him. I get chills and tears talking about him.
Yes, he does.
There's a white woman named Alice Johnson who had mentored me. She was a member, was director of Atlanta Force Commission on Children and Youth.
Yeah, sure.
And she was a part of the Atlanta Citizens Review for the police. I get a call from Alice while you're mayor, and it's during the Occupy movement.
Yeah.
And Occupy movement was one that people took very seriously. They occupied, they disrupted some money. And in Atlanta, so I try to preface this show around Atlanta from Atlanta viewpoint. And you gotta understand, Atlanta is a chocolate city microcosm of America. If things are going good, most Americans ain't worried about whatever's going on the other side of the CNN. But so these Occupy kids came to town, mostly white, mostly middle class, and black folks would kind of met them sometimes with mild aggravation, like you're getting in the way of me getting to work. And I got a call from Alice, said, "Hey, the mayor would like to see you. We have an issue going on down in the park in downtown, and he wants to talk to you about it." So there was a grassroots, self-organized hip hop festival that was permitted going on. And when I say hip hop festival, rest in peace to like Dres the Beatnik, who died today, and an amazing organizer of the underground. You don't get the Goodie Mob, the Killer Mike's, the Outkast, if you don't get these little small organized groups of people that kind of champion it. Because our mayor was of the generation, he saw his friends going into that. He understood that community was to be valued. He understood these folks got out and voted. They might can't fill up State Farm Arena, but they deserve to use the park. So we got these people and the Occupy kids come at the same time. They have done no cross-organization. They have not informed the organization of black people that are there, kids, parents. They just show up. Hey, we're here to get locked up to disrupt. Our mayor, instead of sending the police directly in, which would have not only given them what they wanted, but it would have disrupted this real, just righteous thing going on. You know what I'm saying? He had the wherewithal to call and say, "Hey, Mike, I need you to go talk to them because both sides of the groups of these people respect you and find out what do we want and let's figure out the best possible solution." He did not allow a huge scene to be caused. He did not allow the black folks to turn and say, "You see how black politicians do us?" He did not allow the white folks to say, "We won today. We got them to come in. Look, they hurt women and children too." And I say this now because once the white folks got there, Goblin, it wasn't just white folks nationwide, but this day it was just white folk. There was not room to let any of that happen. This one I saw a master of politics of the moment. He said, "Mike, just go. Both groups respect you. Just go see." So I went to the white kids. I said, "Hey, what's going on? We have this group that are permit these black folks here. They have children and women with them, and they have the park till this time. Whatever you're doing is the right thing. I'm not arguing against it. But if the police come in here, they're going to confuse the two groups, and it's going to happen." And the white guys were like, "Oh no, that's not what we want to do. But we are here to make a statement and go." Okay, I said, what would be a good time for this to happen? Well, we wanted it to happen, and I went to the black folks. Well, I somebody went to first to say, "Look, this is what's happening, as y'all. This is, I promise you, I'm willing. I know the city would be willing to re-grant another permit, but could we just not have you guys lumped in so no confusion?" They said, "Yeah, Mike, we saw stuff we only had about, I think they were permitted maybe to 7:30, but they were like, we'll get out at 6. We're not down with getting locked up with them." Told our mayor that. He figured the police were ready to just be done with it. They had sat out there long enough. And he said in that moment, "Give these folks the time they need. And when the folks want to get locked up, we'll go in and we give them what they want." I went back out, talked to them, say, "Hey, this is what, but you cannot interfere with this black folks event." And they stood down until then. Black people, boom, boom, jumped out. White folks said, "Tighten themselves to it, let's get locked up." And everybody won the day. And the reason I say everybody won the day is the city was allowed to be the city and focus on being the city. So we didn't have an overabundance of police in one place and less in other places they were needed. The white folks that needed to make a political statement in that moment about that moment got the chance to make that statement. And folks who just wanted to have some fun at a barbecue and enjoy and celebrate hip hop, it was done. But I don't know if that would have been done under other mayors.
Yeah, but and they were released on signature bond.
Wow. Which means you didn't even
gave them what they wanted, and
wow.
Yeah, they had to get out without having large debt placed on families, because typically it's a family that gets you out of jail, family member.
So is that because you understand protest? Because your parents moved here in Jersey, your parents moved to Fulton County. Yeah. I'm sure they felt empowered in Atlanta in some capacity.
My dad had been involved in civil rights protests at South Carolina State at Claflin College in South Carolina. Mm-hmm. So I had my own feeling about it. I also think that Atlanta is unique in the world. And I think that moment was really a continuation of what we did, really starting in Mayor Franklin's campaign.
Yeah.
If you look at Atlanta mayoral elections, certainly when they're competitive, they're won or lost by a small amount of votes.
Right.
Shirley Franklin beat Rob Pitts by 159 votes. So because I had been a music lawyer, I reached out to all of you all.
Right.
And I think the first major involvement in politics was in Mayor Franklin's election, and it literally made the difference in the win.
And you
And I was her campaign manager.
Yeah.
So I was her manager when I was 30, 31 years old. And so me calling Mike was a natural thing because I felt like what Atlanta does better than almost every city in the United States and indeed in the world is training. That meeting is practice for the next meeting.
Wow.
That meeting is practice for your real estate investments, right? Because once you sit down with a mayor, then you can sit down with anybody. I also needed the help because right now in this political climate, authenticity is everything. So I could have made a similar decision that Mike and the people who were advising me made, but because it was pure and authentic,
right,
I think it landed very differently. And Atlanta has a global reputation. Really, we're sitting here today because of Dr. Martin Luther King and his friends.
Explain that, because you say his friends.
So I didn't even go in the people that he hung out with. So people that when his day was over.
Yeah.
Right.
Your friends are it's not when you're at work, when your day is over, who are you around?
Yeah.
The people that when his day was over, that he put his life on the line with and laughed with, all took root in Atlanta, right? Most of them took root in Atlanta. So we're the beneficiary of this constant fountain. And so I think that everybody that touches the leadership position has the responsibility to respect that. And if you don't, the consequences are massive. And that's why I think the state of Georgia has the largest concentration of Black millionaires in the United States. If we don't, it's an argument between us and DC, Maryland, and Virginia.
Yeah, I always remind everybody.
And we don't have a United States federal government.
Yeah. That's what I say. Y'all work for white folk, though.
Yeah, we don't have the United States federal government.
We work with white folk.
So I think that, that's why I'm here today. Tomorrow is my birthday, and Michael and I are friends. So it's not even. I can't tell you what it's like when we see each other, and I also think that Black men having conversations like the one we're having right now are going to be a big part of our lives if we're going to reclaim and protect our race.
Yeah, right.
Plus it just, like us sitting here talking, I think impacts our health. I think setting an example, Black women talk about everything.
Yeah.
Which is why they're healthier and better off.
Yeah.
They talk about everything. They talk about how they feel.
Yeah.
They talk about when they go to the doctor.
Yeah.
They talk about what they did today. They talk several times a day.
Yeah.
Now, we don't need to be feminine, but there does need to be a vehicle outside of the barbershop, which I believe is a sacred place for Black men like this, which is why, when Shay told me you were doing this, I was like, no question.
Yeah, Shay.
Shouts out to Shay.
Yeah, shouts out to Shay. Shay is the person who says to me, Negro, if you gonna hang out with Swift, y'all gonna do music and talk, then you're gonna call Kasim. There's not a reservation, but man, you're the big, you and Kwanzaa Hall, and the guys that I saw, because it's just to understand Atlanta's a small town that operates as a big city. Especially when you're a Black person here. Like Kasim went to a Fulton County school, but his best friends go to an Atlanta public school. That Atlanta public school is the rival to the public school I go to. These schools in name or spirit are named for Black folks. So there's a real sense of community and getting to know and cross-sectioning. But, the big homies who are just doing amazing things, you kind of just still be in awe of, like, man, because I knew Shirley when I was 15, when she was running the city for Andy. And I just remember the moment when I was like, man, Madam Mayor, like, I saw her fight for kids as a kid. So when you guys organized our campaign, nobody had to call me. James didn't have to call me. I called James. Like, whatever I can do, I'm on the ground doing. And there's this real connection and cross connection that I think Atlanta is to Black people in this country what Mecca is to Muslims worldwide. And I don't make that comparison lightly. There is opportunity for every Muslim to feel equal in Mecca, regardless of the turmoil that may be going on in their home country. There's a reason for Muslims to see that Muslims come in diversity and color and spectrum in the way that in Atlanta, man, you got black folks that could still pass. You got black folks as dark as a person who got pulled off the boat in 1619, but they're here and their focus is on a mentality that says you can, you must, you will. Life is not fair, but opportunity is there. And man, you and your friendship base, you have friends that
it's crazy.
It's amazing. And I don't think people understand that because there's an air about you. Like, I know who I am, but for those who really know you, man, you're a funny.
But it's also the nature of becoming mayor, though. The same thing was true with Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms. I think the same thing is true with Mayor Dickens. When Ambassador Young was mayor, he had a group of guys.
Yeah.
Maynard Jackson certainly did. I mean, you were talking about Reverend Orange. Reverend Orange is from the same neighborhood as Lil Baby and Ant-Man.
Yep.
Lil Baby and
Lil
Baby and Anthony Edwards came from the same part of the city.
Oakland City?
Yeah, Oakland City.
Yeah, and I mean, I was with Anthony Edwards either his draft night or right around then, and he was talking about the park that we had opened, that had been closed near his house, and how he used that park. And he went further and said that he had wanted to be mayor.
Hey.
I mean, just think about that.
And this is what amazes me, that when people see that attitude and that swagger outside of Atlanta, they don't understand it. And I saw when he talked to former President Obama. Now, if they had been talking geopolitical stuff, if they had been talking, constitutional law, Ant-Man would have humbled down. But that's not what they were talking about. They were talking about basketball. And you can't tell no Atlanta Negro nothing about what he done worked his whole life to be. So the president hits a Swift like with a, you see, Ant-Man.
Which he loves to do. If you've been around President Barack Obama, he does not lack confidence. He's the most confident human being that I've ever met in my life. And he did that with Jordan. And Jordan checked him. He made a basketball joke with Michael Jordan. And Jordan checked him. It was Michael Jordan immediately. And it was 23 type of kerfuffle.
Come on.
You know what I mean? Did he really talk about it? Yes, he did.
Immediately. And then, look, the press tried to get an assist from LeBron. He tried to give it LeBron. And checked him too.
I ain't gonna never say nobody better than me. I ain't gonna never say nobody better than me.
We were sitting around, and we asked him what he wanted to eat. He wanted hot dog. So this guy's getting ready to be drafted #1 and is sitting there eating hot dogs. Like, you have to know what you're dealing with, man. Like, this guy, and it's Atlanta. This guy is,
West
it creates a hyper, people talk about the way my daughter Maria acts. You know what I mean? Like, it's because of, like, what she sees.
It's the confidence.
So she has this energy that, you know what I mean, that throws me off. You know what I'm saying?
Pedigree.
You know what I mean? So I think that, and I every time people get at me socially, because, when you're mayor, you're everybody's. You never stop being mayor. And the beautiful thing about a mayor is you can talk to them anywhere because they voted for you and they were with you and they supported you. And I'll be in the grocery store about to buy some sweet tea. And somebody tell me, put that down. You know what I mean? Or I'll be at the cash register with my stuff, and the lady will start taking stuff out of my, you don't need it. Taking out there these cookies just taking stuff out of my basket. So you have to understand, man, every time somebody tells me that they have a complaint, who are you talking about that's better? Like, as certainly as I believe, period, but certainly as a person of color. Like, you're not talking about Miami. You're not talking about New York. You're not, you might go to Houston for a couple of days, but you're not talking about Houston. You're certainly not talking about LA. Because we know LA is 3 days. We're not talking about San Francisco. We're not talking about Chicago. And so I think it's important in conversations like this that, that we socialize how to feel about our city. And because there's no city that gives you a better fair shot and fair shake and a real opportunity to get to the center of power than ours does.
Right.
And at the end of the day, power is what matters.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Power is what matters, because the date and time that we're in right now.
Yeah.
You know, and I hope it's okay if it's what the fuck are you gonna do about it?
Now we talking. This is what I've been waiting. This the casino. I get to see what the
NWA.
fuck. Yes.
I mean,
yes. So
we're in Atlanta. If you have an issue and somebody tells you, what the fuck are you gonna do about it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I know if I'm in LA and somebody asks me, what the fuck am I gonna do about it? If it's a police officer pulling me over or harassing me, which has happened to me in Los Angeles, right?
Yes.
And I think that power at its essence is, what the fuck are you going to do about it?
Absolutely.
And in Atlanta, you better know who you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Because I don't care how they look to you wherever you are, you better be damn sure. Because they got a mama, or they got a cousin, or they got a dad or a sister that can get to people that can do something fucking about it.
Yes, sir.
So you better walk through this city light.
Yeah.
And that's the essence of of how we get down.
Yeah.
Because it's so many touches.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I was running Shirley Franklin's campaign. And man, I thought I was the shit. And Minister Rockman used to come and sit in the lobby.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody that knows Atlanta knows Minister Rockman from The Nation.
Yeah.
Minister Rockman used to come by to get his people paid that was helping on the campaign. You know, I had a lot of procedures and shit and paperwork. Like, I thought, you know, I was a lawyer at Paul Hastings. I'm like, we're going to run this. Man, Minister Rockman came by and said, man, where's my money? And I started talking about some procedures and paperwork. He got up, he walked out. I go upstairs, my phone rang, and Ambassador Young calls me and tells me, don't go home before you come see me.
Hey.
Mr. Rockman, you never would have thought it. Mr. Rockman had called Ambassador Young, said that I was discourteous to him. I stopped at Ambassador Young. You know how everybody has this holy, the now view of Ambassador Young, which he is, but he is also a man.
Give you the business.
He told me, don't you ever not stop what you're doing when that man comes to see you. And he told me, in politics in Atlanta, that money is not yours.
Wow.
He said in Atlanta, political campaigns pay people that don't have it.
Yep.
Now, mind you, I done gone to Howard University. I'm triple black. I went to Howard University undergrad, Howard University Law School. I'm from Southwest Atlanta, Cascade Road, Niskey Lake. I'm black. And he just educated me on the whole, my politics were never the same.
Yeah.
Mm.
So we have campaign after campaign that pumps millions of dollars into every part of the community. And it goes from, once again, it's the point I was just telling you. Watch who you speaking to. Now, I would never have known that a man from the Nation of Islam in a white suit with a white shirt and a black tie and a white hat with a black fedora around it sitting with a Cadillac outside would be one touch away from
The mayor of the city. One of the most prominent mayors ever in the United States.
Forget the mayor of the city, the person who made me.
Yeah, absolutely.
He put me in the game.
Right.
And so from that moment on, it causes you to move through Atlanta in a different way.
Yeah.
To the hotel clerk,
Yeah.
to the waitress, to the CEO,
Yeah.
to the mid-level manager. And so, you know.
So what the fuck you gonna do about it is I've witnessed that in my life with my grandmother. I tell people one of my most famous quotes is, my grandmother could get to any sitting mayor within 6 phone calls. I say her grandson, it usually take me 1 or 2. But within 6 phone calls, I see this old lady who was on the Collier Heights, you know, in the community there.
No Collier Heights.
Saw her organize with folks over in Pittsburgh. And I started seeing that this network of church ladies who could get 50 or 100 votes out in their neighborhoods, they mattered a lot more than people gave credit for. This network of small black businesses that when you were first running for city council or state senators were the people. And I started seeing the what the fuck you gonna do about it when she got unsatisfied about trash and sanitation. She didn't think the city was picking it up fast enough. She went to city council. She ain't got no avail. She talked to the mayor. She get no avail. Next thing you know, she was on Fox 5.
There you go.
Baby talking about how black folks treating black folks bad when they get in the pie. How trash was never laid again. This city, I think, is a prototype. There's a book called The Devil You Know by Charles Blow. And he talks about, I got a chance to meet him at a high museum.
Charles living in Atlanta.
Yeah,
now.
I know. That's what
all
I'm
that
saying.
New York shit.
We're
right here. He right here.
And he's here and
comfy coast,
happy as hell, and encouraging people to come here because I think there's room. Because I don't want you to be Atlanta. I think Birmingham should be Birmingham, but I want to see what Birmingham's version of this is.
The first thing they knew is need to take all them Atlanta signs down. Well, Birmingham, it's a sign to tell you. It's a sign everywhere to tell you how to get to Atlanta. If I was man Birmingham, I would take everyone, but the one by the freeway, maybe would be down.
Because
I know what you mean.
I'm gonna black folks in Birmingham. What I'm seeing is with their brewery coming down there, with event spaces coming down here, with it only being 2 hours, you're gonna see more white people returning to the South, more white Southerners who are returning from big businesses out west, going home, and we need to be doing what that book says. There's another book you introduced me to, by Judge Gandhi, Terry.
Yeah.
She
daughter of a junkie.
Another
Atlanta story.
I got a call.
Only in Atlanta.
I got a call from my wife. She said, "Hey, Kasim wants you to do an interview. And this is what it's about." And I was immediately like, "Yeah, we flying home. We doing that."
There you go.
And I came home and I just want to thank you.
Off the plane.
Yeah, off the plane. I want to thank you because all too often we hear these people come from 50 and 60 and 70% divorce rates or never married. We hear the horror stories. Child was left without, child is grown without, child's absent father. And this judge, this well-respected judge,
municipal court judge in the city of Atlanta,
who I just thought, man, you couldn't have told me her life went flawless. She's light-skinned with pretty eyes. You couldn't have told me just her parents hadn't just floated in and said,
she was a mean
black excellence.
They were saying this is what judges look like in Atlanta.
Yes, absolutely. Her father was an addict. My mother suffered from addiction. So everyone who listened to the Michael album and heard the record, Motherless, but they'd also heard a record called, Something for Junkies, in which I talked about my aunt. My aunt humanized me in one day and helped me understand. She told me, she was like, "Y'all niggas, you think you special?" She said, "The only reason we come to you is because you treat us like human beings." She said, "You got the same dope all these other niggas. You got you." She said, she made me feel like a little boy. She said, "I done fucked all the niggas you get your dope from." And so she was like, it little boyed me in a moment where I got to see, this ain't me. I'm not finna, this is definitely, I got to make this music shit work. Let me figure this shit out. But her story and the love, because this is what I saw when I saw addiction. I saw Rodney Man coming, and Rodney Man was going to buy something to get himself zooted. But Rodney Man was going to cut grass all day, and he was going to make sure he took a toy back for his nephew. He was going to make sure his sister's children were safe and ate. I saw these human beings that were riddled by addiction, but they never lost their humanity.
And still showed up.
Yeah.
And still put kids through college.
Oh, man.
And still showed up for graduation. And still showed up for birthday.
Come on. You introducing me to her helped me understand that I should be talking about this more and bigger, because Black people need to understand that although victims of, and rightfully so, we have a reason to be depressed, to feel like I can't, to feel like it's not for me. But if you push through the day, if you push through the next day, if you push through college, if you suffer through that, on the other side of the morning, not only comes glory for you, but it's a restorative karmic justice for those who have invested in you, like her father, like my mother. There's so many people in this city who hold high position that are from meager backgrounds, beyond blue collar, addictive backgrounds, foster care, things of that nature. Atlanta has given place and space for that. How important is it that Black folks understand, just like the west side of Atlanta, which you're a product of, that all Black folks have to move in unison in terms of helping these children realize their greatest potential?
Well, Something for the Junkie spoke to my soul because it changed my energy of dealing with people in hard situations.
Right.
When you had the success that we have had, your energy closes.
Yeah.
Because we're coddled, right? So I was a mayor of a city. everybody knew I was going to be mayor for a long time before that. So they handle you differently.
That's what I was saying, yeah.
And so as a result, you'll bring that trash into your family. Because all of us have people in our families that are not where we are. And so for me, it broke down a barrier. And Judge Gundy's book and other people that I met allowed me to be more open to people as they are. You can just love somebody if they fucked up. They fucked up. Yeah. But you know what, though? It's healthier for you.
Yeah.
Because you don't
judge.
You don't, you know what I mean?
You don't judge.
You know they're going to ask you for some money, maybe.
Yeah.
Or something. But when your spirit is right,
yeah,
what I can do, I'll do. What I can't do, I can't do.
Yeah.
That's Atlanta. That's what if I can do it, I'll do it. If I can't, I can't. There's nothing else you can ask anybody for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think that every time I hear that record, we were at your restaurant and I put up a post and I put up that record. And when I put up something for the junkie, my daughter saw the post on Instagram and asked me about the record. My daughter knows who Killer Mike is. She calls him Uncle Mike, not Killer Mike.
That's the Niecy Poo, right?
Yeah. So, but I mean, that's her world. She was like, what was he saying? So then I got to have a whole conversation about, man, you're a really blessed person. The people that are not so blessed, what kind of energy should you have towards them? Because, you know, I went through a period where my energy was really closed. Because when you're mayor of Atlanta, when you're walking around as mayor, with the exception of your close folks, and you all know exactly what I mean. When you see people, they have a thought bubble over their head.
Yeah.
You can see them and know what they want. So you can walk into a room and you'll know somebody want tickets.
Right.
Somebody want you to introduce you to. So you moving.
Yes.
And when you see the human, before they come up to you, have some idea. This person wants a contract. This person wants a job. This person's got a relative. So that would be my room.
Yeah.
So that causes you to,
it's a protective bubble.
It's unhealthy. And so when you think of a record like Something for the Junkie, and then, you know, watching your blessings, Mike's blessings, it just makes you open. And I think we've seen each other, Mike and I have seen each other over at the black restaurant we go to on Cascade.
I was going to take, I got to tell a story about this. It's Baltimore Seafood.
Baltimore Seafood.
Yes.
Yeah, they got wonderful rice.
Yeah.
This
kale
rice they got over there. It's my
kale
thing. It's
like
but I gotta get Judge Gundy on.
Stir fry.
Yeah, we got to get Judge Gundy on to talk about that book. Thank you for introducing me to that book. All right, let me put y'all on some game right quick. It's a company called Mood. They're doing cannabis different. We talking 100% federally legal THC, shipped straight to your doorstep. No dispensary, no awkward weird convos, just weed, the good kind. From small American farms, grown without chemicals. No bullshit. Mood makes functional gummies that actually hit different. You got ones to focus, for sleep, for feeling a little extra frisky, you know, you and your boo thing. Everyone's from PMS support, which I know nothing about, but my sisters have told me it's not a very good thing every month. And I'm just talking getting high. They're about getting it right. Everything's built to kick in quick, like 15 minutes quick. And it's paired with herbs and botanicals to get you where you need to be mentally and physically. So if you're looking to chill, level up, reset a vibe, just tap in for Mood. Mood has got you covered. Head to mood.com and use the code KillerMike to get 20% off your first order. Again, mood.com. The promo code is Killer Mike. That's me. Support the farmers, support your mood, and most importantly, support yourself, player.
It's an amazing story. I was glad to have appointed her.
Yeah, thank you for what you're saying in terms of you growing, because a lot of people see you as an absolute. Like if I was doing a Tyler Perry movie, or if I was doing Dallas, you know, like you'd be like James Stanback, you know what I mean? You'd be like you know, to the mayor, like he's powerful, you know. Yeah. But your humanity has grown. Not that you were ever cold and distant, but like you say, you get in that bubble, and the bubble is protection of some sort because you have to start saying that there's a target on my back.
But the bubble is also the reason I'm not in prison.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because I understood, man, they tried to indict Andrew Young.
Right.
Yeah, Andy.
So
excuse me, for people who might not understand, that's so absurd. Andy he wasn't no money mayor. He wasn't trying to get
They went for it, though.
I forgot about that.
They went, so my point is, in the life of the United States of America, I think he is one of the best people the country's ever produced.
Ever.
So if you look at what they did for him, and he'll tell you, he had to get Griffin Bell, who had been the Attorney General of the United States of America, to defend him against baseless charges from Bob Barr, who's trying to build his political career by attacking him as a U.S. attorney.
Yeah.
So I had no expectation that with my style of governance was a get it done style of governance, because I understood the time frame that I was in. And that's why when you look around Atlanta right now, you can't look at it without seeing me. No Mercedes-Benz. Like, come on. We passed Mercedes-Benz Stadium after the state rejected it. Ponce City Market was me having dinner in New York. And I saw on the name of the building, Jamestown, at the Google headquarters. The Porsche headquarters was me and Detlef Van Platten at a Hawks basketball game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was fast-paced. NCR was me and Bill Nudie at the governor's mansion. The deepening of the Savannah port, me and Governor Nathan Deal and President Barack Obama. So my pace was a ferocious pace.
Yeah.
So my demeanor had to be more forceful, because I wanted to leave with a lot of stuff done.
Yeah.
Right? So,
and the stuff you're talking about is not just for name of legacy sake, because you did some hard stuff too.
Yeah.
You allowed the Braves to go north, which I would,
one of the best business decisions.
Yeah, which I would exactly. I would argue that not only was it one of the best business decisions for Atlanta, because Georgia State is of course growing.
Yeah.
As that grows, that's going to become more centered. That AUC is going to continue to grow, but it brought true progress to Cobb County in that it took money there. I'd never seen so many Black Cobb County police officers in my life, which means that diversity and equity and hiring had to improve.
Cut to the chase. The chairwoman of Cobb County is Black.
Come on. There we go. That's all I'm saying.
And for me, the Braves play was just take that weight.
Yeah.
Right.
So Liberty Media wants $400 million out of our pocket, and we had been broke. We had been compared to Detroit in the past, which had filed for bankruptcy. And all my position was take that weight. So I took the weight for the Falcons.
Yeah.
But we had a revenue stream, the hotel motel tax.
Yeah.
That money didn't come out of the city's general fund. The Braves wanted money out of our accounts.
Right.
Yeah.
Because there was no stream for that. Plus, you ever looked at Liberty Media's politics? I'm not cutting no $400 million check to Liberty Media. And Georgia State University produces more Black intellectuals and undergraduates than every other school in the United States.
That was a hell of a call, though, man. Oh, man.
So, I came home and people outside.
I'd have been scared of shit.
Outside my house with braids bound. I went in there and went to sleep. Because we had this double-edged sword. If Atlanta was broke, it would be that Atlanta was broke. If I had done that Braves deal, then Atlanta wouldn't have had $200 million in reserves when COVID came.
And I would argue it kept the Braves in Metro Atlanta, because the capital of baseball really is East Cobb in terms of. So he was brave enough to make a hard decision in the moment that oh man, I was hanging my head like, God, we lost the Braves. But when I look at it now, man, what an amazing call. How much?
But did I bring Atlanta United?
Yes, you did.
I mean,
did they bring us a championship? Yes, they did.
If I lost the Braves, right, then Atlanta United
championship.
Which let's get this thing. We beat Miami.
Yeah.
So when we got the soccer team, right, which if we didn't have Atlanta United, we certainly wouldn't have a World Cup coming.
Yeah. Which is next year.
we beat Miami. Just think about this for a minute now. Check that out.
Yes, sir.
So when the soccer franchise came up, we beat Miami.
We beat
for
Miami.
Soccer.
That has a higher Hispanic population, where soccer is definitely more.
I'm just saying. saying.
You one of the best. Like
my point is like, so my style, I think had a lot to do with, the attacks on me. But I knew that there was no way to not go through a hard time because nobody else did. There's nobody in Atlanta, and I hope that Mayor Dickens doesn't have an issue, that does 8 years as mayor, because every time you make a decision, you piss somebody off.
Yeah. No matter the
And
decision.
they go and make up a story. And I spent $18 billion, right? So the city of Atlanta's budget when I was in office is 2.6 billion. Multiply that times 8. How many black people run $16-17 billion?
Successfully.
So when I left, AA plus credit from Standard & Poor's, Moody's, and Fitch, it was almost junk when I got here. So it's on brand for Atlanta having the longest line of black mayors in America.
Ever. Now,
right? Because when you
Since I can remember.
Yeah, so let's not even remember. There's no other city in the United States that has an uninterrupted chain of black political leadership, save Newark, New Jersey.
I noticed when they talk trash about on Fox, they never mention Atlanta in that whether you talk Maynard, you talk Andy, you talk Bill, you talk Shirley, you talk Keisha, you talk Andre.
And I'm dark skinned.
Yeah.
So now dark skinned people
you do kind of got good hair though.
You triple black.
You got
But y'all know, before me, there was no brown skinned Keisha, no brown skinned Andre.
Yeah.
So I feel like I really helped diversity.
You brought it all home.
You're a bad man. Damn, you done learned me something today. You did a lot. You did a lot.
This Negro came here wanting to talk about potholes.
We can talk about whatever. But all I'm saying is, when I ran, Congressman John Lewis, who I love him right now. Another one of the baddest people America ever produced. When I ran, we had lunch, and he had that brutal campaign against Julian Bond.
Yeah.
And he told me out of love. He said, son, you should stay in the Senate. And he said, they are not going to elect a dark-skinned mayor of Atlanta. And you should have been in the moment. You could see
it hurts you.
What he went through. Yeah. I said, Congressman, I look good, though.
Yeah.
So you doing like this?
I got that swag shot grease.
Let me tell you something now. And you know what? He busted out laughing. He said, you're crazy. I said, I am. And I said, because it was all quiet and shit.
What the fuck you gonna do about it?
You know what I mean? I said, you know what? But I look good, though. I had gone to Howard. Yeah. So I was like, man, you know what I mean? We have not had nobody. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to win. I told him. I said, I'm going to win.
Hey.
And so it was we would laugh about it all the time. Because he was brown too.
How important
I don't want to be a colorist today, but since we covering
we talk like black folks. And if you're privy to see this and not understand it, just watch as a voyeur and keep living long enough, you'll get it.
Oh, man.
What I love about what black folk, and part of sometimes when I say Atlanta, what I mean is black folk, because Atlanta is comprised of black folks from everywhere.
That's right.
And they come here and they figure it out. And there's a certain Atlanta way in Atlanta code of you learn somebody before you assume things, so you figure out who I'm dealing with. In the neighborhood I grew up with, there were black Catholics, there were black Protestants, of course, there were black Methodist folks, there were Seventh-day Adventists. So that's how I understood, okay, all black folks don't worship Jesus the way I do. All black folks don't worship Jesus because there was Muslims there. Then we had the Russells lived in my neighborhood. So you have these millionaires, then you got 900 square foot house in the front, like my grandparents, very blue collar. But I think it's important because, man, when you get a chance to hear, to the people on the other side of the camera, when you get a chance to hear these black folks just in a room together, you realize you just at your family function. And you understand one another better and you give each other grace where you didn't, we're taught not to give each other grace before. We pick, or as of late, we pick these little things to argumentative about, and we let them drive us into the ground, and we realize we got a common opposer. I tell you one day, man, you killed me. You knew it was gonna kill, but And Bernie Sanders was running.
Yeah. And you my brother.
Hey, listen, man. That was, every black person got their white folk. You know what I mean? Hey, man. When you come to the party, hey, them three, them my white folk right there. Just in case they ain't around, make sure they get something to try. Listen, man. He told my white folk up, man. Man. He went on 3, man. Hey. I think it was a drop.
I never disrespected you though.
Oh man. But what I had to say was, man, I said he knows that what he had to do or what he was doing, he knew it was gonna kick me in the butt a little. So I had a talk later.
I didn't disrespect you though.
Yeah,
No, I kept that separate.
Yeah, I love that you spared me, because you could have just wiped me down. How a lot of total line Democrats do, and the thing about doing that is we don't have, what's the Jewish holiday, Rosh Hashanah, the one where they get together. They get together once a year and they get a chance to say to each other, hey, I've wronged you, I've been wrong, I forgive you, I'll forgive. They get a chance to do that. Black folks need to figure out, we need to do that on Juneteenth. Because he could have wiped me and I couldn't have did another shrub of shoulders.
You know what though?
But he didn't. Now
they trying to trick us, man. We have to have an environment. You and I talk.
Yes.
When we're on different sides of the issue, we have real conversations and people will call me, and he knows it. People know that Mike and I are close. So they would call me and I'll be like, man, I'm not talking to him about that. Or I'm not going to do that, because once you start doing that, we can't talk no more.
Damn.
We can't. I had a specific issue because I was Barack Obama's main man. And everybody knew I had a role to play.
Yeah.
I was on Meet the Press. We were in a competitive environment.
Yeah.
And what he said really matters.
Yeah.
And Mike and I talk all the time. You Democrats have to stop living a life where if you do something they don't like, you off.
Yeah, you gotta stop that.
That stuff is not, you have to be allowed to go and do a thing.
Yeah.
And then you and your man was like, man, like I wouldn't have done that. Okay, no problem. Yeah, you wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
What the fuck you gonna do about it?
Exactly. The fuck you gonna do
about it?
Hey,
I got you.
But I just want folks on the other side to know you gotta do that. And my ego wasn't bruised or hurt, and he purposely left me out of it, a situation that would have bruised and hurt, but he got his mission done, because I need him to be more powerful, not less.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be something.
We got the Savannah port deepened.
Absolutely.
And when the Savannah port got deepened, President Obama mailed me the pen that signed it. Because when you're president of the United States, when you're in any big political job, and I want folks out there to know and understand it, there have to be a group of people that are for you.
Period.
Fucking yes. There have to be a group no bigger than 21. Bigger if you're the president of the United States. But there have to be a group of people, when you're around them, you have to feel that all they want me, they are all for me. All this 50-50, that's for people that are 50. They're not your main people. All this debate, there have to be a people that get in the room and sit around and say, the guy says, this is what we doing. And then you help them get there in politics. And because I felt President Obama's time in office was so important for us, because no matter what you felt about him being middle of the road, whatever, the fact of the matter is on a planet of 7 billion people, the most powerful person on earth was black. And everybody knows what that did to people. Just seeing it. So you can have a debate on policy and all of these other things. That's cool. But you can't deny that everybody tried to figure out how to get a black friend when that man got elected president.
The power of symbolism and propaganda. The power of propaganda and symbolism we can use, in my opinion, more effectively. I didn't realize our daughters don't know what black power doesn't look like. They only know black power. Like my daughter has seen black president, and in my lifetime, I've never not been under the direct power of a black man or woman as mayor of this city. And people don't understand the importance of that. And I mean, sometimes in Atlanta, we take it for granted that the importance of Barack Obama, regardless of, no matter how I feel about his policy, when that television came on that fair-skinned black man, that beautiful dark-skinned black woman, them 2 black babies. They didn't have to hold no puppy. They didn't have to act like they like cricket or lacrosse. They was like, I like basketball.
Yeah, he Jackie Robinson
that
thing. He Jackie Robinson.
He really did. So I will forever be respectful of that 8-year presidency because there was no greater symbolism and piece of propaganda that black people could benefit from. And the reason in Atlanta, where, again, when people say, well, Atlanta's a successful city, Georgia's been #1 state in business for 10 years. Hold on, I'm finna give you this one. But in Atlanta, I tell people, they say, but it's the biggest wealth disparity. I say, well, so basically you're just telling us we're the chocolate version of the United States. I say, because we haven't fixed the United States wealth disparity. In Atlanta, we're working hard on it, haven't fixed it. But what you're telling me is that you're as good as this country. And this country is considered the best in the world. So what you're saying in that backhanded slight you're trying to give me is actually a compliment. You're saying you're doing exactly as good as the country is doing. And I believe better in some places. I think Andre's doing an amazing job at getting people off the street and in the houses. I like that. I think you have done and are doing an amazing job at empowering black business, particularly when it comes to the space of entertainment that people used to talk about like it was a joke, like it was just rappers monkeying around until they seen their fucking studio go up. Under Tyler Perry. Until they
ripped my skin off when I saw that.
Oh, man, but you did the right thing. And in terms of the music industry that's caught here and what globally that has done for music sales, Atlanta has been for over 25 years now the tip of the spear in terms of music. And in big part because you had a best friend that went to this Black Rifle High School of mine. He got into music. You see the opportunity. You appoint people like Chris Hicks to have position in this to help artists know that there's a life after artistry. You should be looking at investments now. You should be figuring out how to do a Hank Aaron in terms of black man, could have moved back to Alabama after he left here. Friends with Andy, stayed here. Car dealership. The symbolism of that told me, much like Judge Gundy, you can't fail. Don't matter if you're a product or addiction, anything, you see so much success around you, like Ant-Man, in spite of his mother being gone, grandmother being gone. He playing for the Adamville and the Atlanta Vikings, gave that kid a confidence that nobody else understood or had.
If you're in Atlanta and you can't find the plug, you're not looking.
Come on.
I remember when you came by my house and I want to say you was running. What was the white? Was it Mary Norwood?
Mary Norwood.
Right.
That was her name.
And I was like joking. I was like, so Mike. I was like, yeah. I was like, Mike. So what happened if we have like a white mayor? He was like, well, boy, he went crazy on me. He was like,
you won't be relaxed when the police
like to go. All the little stuff we like to do. We might not be able to do it. It's not happening.
Yeah, in Atlanta, I mean, the police pulled me over. I go, we all right?
Yeah.
everybody feeling safe. How's your day today?
That's for real. Oh,
man, you do a lot of stuff, though. Everything you just said, I'm like, damn.
The motion picture business in our town now. I mean, we grew it to $9 billion working with a Republican governor. I mean, it was a $400 million business when we started. When we walked out, it was $9.5 billion, and we were number one movie maker in the United States.
And when you look at that, and people say, "Well, those are the big studios that have moved." That's
not true. It's everybody. Studios just like this,
and beyond that, new business got created. I would argue our food truck business improved because of that. We had an opportunity for people to start things. Dave's cheesesteak started because Eve gave him a shot to feed the crew. This kid from Philly comes to Atlanta, gets an opportunity to do that. The next thing, it's one of the fastest growing franchises.
And then he marries Pinky, who
Slutty Vegan.
Made Slutty Vegan. That took off because people like you walked up, ate it. Y'all allowed her to post you.
Yep.
And then access your social. I mean, Atlanta is just, man, it's just another, I tell you, it's just another made in Atlanta story all the time.
Absolutely.
Man. Nothing like it in the world.
I want to thank, I got to shout out Big Boy's Trailers too, because this business
celebrity trailers.
Literally did a celebrity trailers that does the movie. I want a man. I don't know another, I'm glad that I got the interview that really showed the human side. This is just a piece, but this is the mayor with the tie off. You get a chance to see at the barbecue. This is the mayor
around his friends.
I knew that I had voted for and campaigned for the right person twice the day after you stepped out of office. And I'll tell you why. Shay and I, we eat at that Baltimore seafood, and she loved the place. It's like its own Cascade, so people don't know. It's two different Cascades now. You got the Cascade in the West End where the donut, where the Krispy Kreme is. You sometimes you got to watch your back around there. And then you got Cascade, once you go on an underpass, you got your golf ranges and stuff. All black people, though. Your cousin just live on the other end. They just trying to get to go in. But this place is nice. It's plush. You don't have to drive 20 minutes north or south.
Good
right
food.
there in Southwest Atlanta. Beautiful ambiance, great service.
Not as
Food
good as
is
Bankhead, but good food.
Hey, thank you for the plug, Mayor. But I walk in, and the mayor's at the bar, eating that rice he likes, drinking the sweet tea, and I'm just like, "What's up, you?" And he looks at me like, "Yeah, where else I'm supposed to be? My job is done." He went and did a job, built something 400 million to 9 billion. He went and did a job, keeps all this industry here, went and did a job from a conversation at a basketball game, gets a port expansion that's going to bring more black jobs in Savannah, more people.
All the longshoremen.
Has done all this.
All the union jobs.
And he's not the activist advocate mayor and that he's in front of everything, every campaign. We got to do this. We got to black. He's just sitting in a black business that gives great service in a black community.
Being triple black.
Being triple black. And my job, what I'm supposed to do. My job is done. Oh, man, I could have cried in that moment because what I was seeing was what Maynard had bet we would produce. It is what Andy made sure we were producing. It is in what Shirley Care took. It is in what Bill did in terms of business. It was what Keisha would go on to do and what Andre, protect the interests of a community that can produce leadership to lead an American city to be one of the best by Americans who just happen to be black.
And not have people look you in your face in this town and say, what the fuck are you going to do about it?
That's right, because we're doing something. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
What the fuck are you going to do about it?
I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. And when you talk about it outside as we go into a new political season, you got to sit, and if you get angry, what the fuck are you going to do about it? If you feel passionately, what the fuck are you going to do about it? If you want to see a different type of content, what the fuck are you going to do about it? Because all the change, all the progress must first start with you. Before he was mayor, state senator. During that time, ran campaigns. During that time, after that conversation with Andy, changed his mindset. Because of understanding now addiction different, changed his mindset. What are you going to do about it? And then once you get the you together, what are we going to do about it? Love and respect. Thank y'all for conversating and debating with us. Thank former Mayor
DJ
Reed.
Swift.
Thank DJ Swift for not being
Michael Render.
Yay.
Shay Bigger somewhere.
We did it, man.
My name's Michael Render. They call me Killer Mike. And this is Conversate. I just want to conversate. I just want to conversate, which I want to convert. Conversate's not a real word, but I encourage questioning. I want to encourage thought. I want to conversate. I want to have discussions with people that I may not agree with or that I may not understand and try to gain perspective. I think we all should be doing that. We all should be in talk. We all should be in a constant state of talking because that's what precedes organizing and mobilizing and revolutionizing and changing things. I believe in the power of conversation. I believe in Conversate. So I'm here to talk. I'm here to talk and I'm here to listen and learn. And I'm here to have people impress upon me different ways and thoughts and mentality. I believe in conversation. I believe in jive, talking, and rapping. What they call it. I'm a rapper. I'm rapping. But before rappers were rapping over beats for money, I want to exchange some respect with one another. So we're gonna conversate. We're gonna check it out. Yeah. Conversate with Killer Mike.